North Korea fires missile over Japan in unprecedented threat. North Korea has fired a missile over northern Japan in a move Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe called an unprecedented threat to his country. The missile, launched early on Tuesday Korean time, flew over Hokkaido Island before crashing into the sea. The UN Security Council is expected to hold an emergency meeting in response. North Korea has conducted a flurry of missile tests in recent months, but firing projectiles over Japan is rare and sharply escalates tensions. On the two previous occasions North Korea fired rockets over Japan, in 1998 and 2009, the North claimed they were for satellite launches, not weapons. The South Korean military said the missile was fired eastward just before 6 o'clock local time, 2100 hours GMT. From near the North's capital, Pyongyang, which is rare. Early analysis of the launch suggests the missile flew a distance of more than 2,700 kilometers, 1,678 miles. Reached a maximum altitude of about 550 kilometers, 342 miles, lower than most previous North Korean missiles. Fell into the North Pacific Ocean 1,180 kilometers off the Japanese coast after breaking into three pieces. No effort was made by the Japanese to shoot down the missile, but it issued a safety warning telling citizens in Hokkaido to take shelter in a sturdy building or basement. U.S. and Japanese forces are currently taking part in training drills in Hokkaido. South Korean President Moon Jae-in ordered a show of overwhelming force in response to the launch. Four South Korean jets staged a live bombing drill on Tuesday. Mr. Abe said he had spoken to U.S. President Donald Trump and that both agreed to increase pressure on North Korea. Over the past week it seemed as though the rhetoric from North Korea had abated. There was less fiery commentary from the country's media than we'd seen in preceding weeks. But the latest missile launch will certainly dispel any notions that Pyongyang is backing down, even though there's been international condemnation and UN sanctions passed against it. In some ways, a provocation was expected as US and South Korean forces are currently conducting joint military exercises. These drills are held every August, and there's always some retaliation to them from North Korea. Last year, Pyongyang conducted a nuclear test shortly after the exercises. But few North Korea watchers expected an overt missile test over Japanese territory, especially over the north, as previous threats on Guam would take missiles over the south of Japan. North Korea's conventional and nuclear weapons programs are a breach of international sanctions, so the test is being seen as a major provocation and an escalation of tensions on the Korean peninsula. Earlier this month, North Korea threatened to fire missiles towards the U.S. Pacific territory of Guam, while U.S. President Donald Trump warned Pyongyang would face fire and fury if it continued to threaten the U.S. There have also been some reports in recent months that North Korea is preparing to carry out its sixth nuclear test. But last week, U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson said the fact that North Korea had not carried out any missile launches since the UN imposed a fresh round of sanctions was an indication of restraint by Pyongyang.